Shut up and sit down.
Hey, and welcome to the Freja MMA podcast, where it doesn't matter if you're a casual fan or a championship fighter. Join us in our discussion about the beautiful sport which is mixed martial arts. Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Freja MMA podcast. Today we are speaking with Josefine Lundgren Knutsson, formerly known as Little Thunder. Now she's known just as Thunder. We speak a bit about the difficulties of getting fights as a female in both mixed martial arts and kickboxing and K1, her long and extended fight career, and her upcoming bout against a new opponent at Fight Club Rush, which is Adriana Fusini. You'll hear a bit about what happened there as well. So please enjoy the interview with Josefine Thunder. Hello, Josefine. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing very well. So leading up to the fight now, you're going to be fighting at Fight Club Rush. But before that, if you could just give you a bit of an introduction to the people that may not know you.
My name is Josefine Knutsson. I'm from Sweden. I'm 25 years old. I just went over to the MMA. I have a fighting career in both in Muay Thai and K1. So this is gonna be my pro debut in MMA.
So we'll start there in your background. So how many fights have you had in your career?
Both in Muay Thai and K1, I have like 45 under 50 fights, and it's everything from professional to amateur fights.
That's a long career, and you're still young in the sport, shall I say. So what was it like transitioning over from sports like K1 and kickboxing to MMA?
It's from the beginning, it was like a big challenge for me because, I have my strength from my striking and from my standing. But still, it's a big difference when you go to MMA because it's a lot more in the game. Of course, you have the ground, the takedowns, you need to defend and everything. So I think that was the biggest difference for me. And like, even if it's new for me, I need to use my strength from my standing background and just like get it into the MMA picture. So that's the biggest change for me. But now I think like I'm on the way of overcoming it, and now I feel like MMA could really be my game.
So let's go back to how this all started. What interested you in fight sports, shall I say, and how did you get into it?
Like I'm training at the most famous MMA gym in the world. We have a lot of UFC champions here. We have Alexander Gustafsson, Ili Latifi, Khamzat Chimaev. He's the hottest in MMA right now. And so I'm always surrounded by champions. And for me, that's all of them are like big role models for me. So even though I always competed in K1 and Muay Thai, somewhere in my back head, I know that I would go MMA one day. So once I decided to take that step, I go 100% for it. So I always had like deep inside, like I know I'm gonna try MMA, and now I know like this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna give my all. I never go like 50%. I go 100%. When I want something, I'm going for it. So
Yeah, I mean, you started your fight sport journey when you was 13.
yeah.
How did you first start? I mean, it's not really. I'm sure it wasn't really that big of a sport at that time as well, and especially
hmm
for a woman to be going straight into it. So, what was your
yeah.
motivation going into that?
Like when I was 13, I wasn't like that serious as I am now. Like when I was 13 years old, it was only like I was trying like karate, and it was more like self defense. I was a young girl by that age, so I only wanted to try like a new thing. And then eventually, when I did my first amateur fights, I thought like this is what I really want to do. And then when I switched gym to All Stars Training Center, I got my like the biggest motivation to continue. And then I really knew that I wanted to do this like for real, like for a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it all started.
So how old was you when you joined All Stars?
I was 17 years old. Yeah.
Did you feel a big change in your game, should I say, when joining such a big gym?
Yeah, of course. It's like when you come to All Stars, it's like a totally different mindset because you are surrounded by champions all the time, and like really, the trainings are almost like competitions all the time, and you have all the kind of different sparring partners and all kind of different. You have boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, K1. So for me, it was like a really like all around in the beginning. So I got like to try it all at the one gym, and then yeah, step by step.
So how does it feel as well? I've heard that there has been a few problems being a female in the sport, not being enough sparring partners and things like that, especially not being enough opponents. Was it the
Yeah,
same in kickboxing, a K1 and Muay Thai as well as it is in mixed martial arts?
like I think it's always the same problem in this sport, but for my experience, now I don't have so much experience in MMA, but I think it's harder to find an opponent in MMA than in K1 and Muay Thai, especially here in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Because here in Sweden we don't have that many girls. Like it's starting to get growing bigger, as, but it's still like hard to find girls that want to do it like for real, like for professional, to make a living of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have a few girls and we try to stick together, but otherwise we try to fight and train with both girls and guys. So
Well, we'll talk a bit about your debut now. For me, that has dedicated my kind of look on MMA, especially. So this was the Brave events that were in Sweden, and
yeah.
I recognized the coach of Nina Back on the night, and I flew in straight from my day job where I was working away and went straight to this Brave event. I wasn't sure about the card or anything, so it was a bit of a surprise that she was there. And then
Okay.
I said to the coach, who is she facing? And then all he said was Josefine. So it's like your first MMA fight and you was already on the first name basis. So I was just like, okay, kind of thing. I'm not really sure who that is yet, but what a debut
Yeah.
you had as well against a very tough opponent. What was that experience like for you?
Like usually me and my coach when we pick fights, of course we pick fights that I know that I can win, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like even if she have a lot of more experience, it doesn't matter. Like when I see a fight, we know like this one we will win. And I only get more motivated if I have an opponent that have more experience than I have. So of course you have to be realistic, but that's always in our mind. So for me, I was only like more motivated to take this fight, and especially that because she had a name in Sweden
Mm-hmm.
and also maybe international. So I was like, this is it. If I win her, I know that of course it's going to be harder to find opponents in Sweden, but this is what I came for. Like I want to be on the big stage one day. So
Was the first plan to go straight into pro MMA, or was the plan to have the amateur fights at first?
of course we wanted to have a little bit more amateur fights, but because of the corona situation, it's been really hard. Here in Sweden, they close all the amateur fights.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought like it's already been maybe 8 months. It was in August I went my debut in the amateur. So we just said like we can't wait anymore. And I have professional fights in K1 and Muay Thai before I went to MMA. So we thought like this is it. We will go to pro, and I feel ready. I train pro, and I will fight pro. So.
But before we get into promoting your next fight, the part that everyone loves, and that is the fight nicknames or where they came from. So yours is Little
Yeah.
Thunder, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But I want to take away the little.
Oh, okay.
I'm not little anymore.
So where did that come from exactly, and when did it start in your long fight career, shall I say?
The Thunder name, it actually came from my coach, Sanya. She gave me that nickname because when I met my coach the first time, we were actually in a sparring together.
Mm-hmm.
And she always took me down, and I came up and we continue. Yeah, she thought I was like fast and always in her face. So she wanted to give me that nickname. And also it was good because when we were fighting internationally, it's good to have a nickname that you will be remembered, not only a nickname, but something that she like think it's me. So it was easier that with that nickname.
So we'll take away the little part of it, and it will just be Thunder.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, so moving into your pro debut now, you'll be fighting at Fight Club Rush 8 on March 6th. It's been a bit of a headache for you, I'm guessing, with getting opponents, and you were supposed to face Fabiola Pidroni at first. There was a bit of a headache there. You could go into that if you want. How's that first feeling of an opponent dropping out?
Like usually I'm not so surprised because it's always like the reasons for someone to dropping out is like injuries or they get sick, and especially during this corona situation. But when I heard the reason that she was like dealing with drugs, I'm not gonna go too much into it. I was like surprised. I thought it was like risky that she even does that for being a professional fighter. But it doesn't matter because I didn't have a fight, and I was shocked and I was disappointed because I've been training a lot for this and waiting for a fight for a long time. So our first reaction was just to like search for a new opponent. So me and my trainer and my manager, we like try to make the progress go quick, so we just find someone. So I have a fight, and eventually we succeed. So
yeah, so now you'll be facing Adriana Fossini, if that's the correct name. Also an Italian. What do you know about your opponent in this very short amount of time?
Yeah, I know for sure this fighter is, I think she's tougher than my first Italian opponent. She have 3-0 in the pro fight. I watched her fights for a little bit, and I think she's a little bit all around. She have striking. She likes to be standing. She likes to be on the ground. So for me, it's like more to train on the whole picture of my game, and of course to use my own strength, which is my striking. And I don't think I changed my game plan too much, just because I changed opponent. So, but I know for sure I think this girl is more hungry, and I think of course she have more experience, and she will come all the way here. So I know she thinks she's gonna win, but yeah, I will defend her and take my place.
So how does it feel also being on such a large platform? I mean, Fight Club Rush is going to be on UFC Fight Pass live, and it's quite a big thing for a fighter to be on this such large platform. How does it feel for you to be a part of this history-making moment for Swedish MMA?
Yeah, this is huge for me. I'm really motivated, and I think it's a great opportunity. So I'm just happy to show the people what I'm here for, and I'm super excited. I just feel like ready, and I've been ready for a long time now. So it's yeah, it's nice.
So, to the audience that's tuning into this podcast, what can they expect on March 6th?
Yeah, I think that I will give you all a show for sure, and I will try to finish her in the first round, but I think it can be in the second round. I will give my all, and I'm really pumped to give you all a show for sure. So you're gonna see a different side of me, and yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay, there we go. Everyone tune in. UFC Fight Pass, Fight Club Rush 8. We usually give this time to
Yeah,
our guests to give thanks to any coaches, any friends, family, inspiring people, or anything like that. Sponsors as well. So if you have any, now's your time to thank them.
yeah. I want to thank my gym All Stars Training Center for making this possible, to fixing me opponent in a short notice, and for always believing in me. My coach Sanya and Andreas and Momo. Yeah, we're gonna do this together. I'm really excited to have all of these great, amazing coaches in my corner. So don't miss the fight.
Yep, don't miss it. Again, thank you for your time. I know it's quite close to the
Thank you.
fight and everything, but you seem very focused and ready for your fight.
I am.
Yep, so thank you very much. And everyone, check it out.
Thank you.
Fight Club Rush 8, UFC Fight Pass, March 6th. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.